Hey everybody, I'm AznFunk. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm joined by a super awesome guest. He is the current Guinness World Record holder for having the most Funko Pop figures on record. Total number of 5,306, which actually might be not accurate anymore. Paul Scardino, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Mark. No, I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, so is that number correct? Do you still currently have 5,306 or do you have more than that now?
It's a good question. So let me take a step back. So actually the first time I attempted the record, it was only like 4,300 or so. And this was back in 2018. And then I attempted it to break my record again, and I did, and that's where the 5,306 happened. And so that was able to, the timing worked out so that it could be in the 2021 book for the 5,306.
Okay.
So that happened kind of around the same time that the Guinness World Records crew came out to film it.
Right.
So right now, I'm not sure how many I have. I did downsize a little bit.
Huh.
So right after we moved to, we just recently bought a house. And so the video that you see, the Guinness World Records video that you saw on their YouTube, I had to move all that. So
really,
I just recently moved all that. And so over the past couple months, I've been setting things up and getting it back. It's not fully up, but I did downsize quite a bit. I did sell off quite a few of some lines that I wasn't really too interested in anymore and wanted to, we were buying a house. And so financially that helped, but also, focusing on other lines that I was more interested in. And as you know, Funko's always coming out with new stuff. So
of course.
So I did downsize by about 500 or 600 pops.
Oh, wow.
Keep collecting the whole time. So I may be there, maybe a little less, maybe a little more, I'm not sure, but I'll know at some point here soon.
Right. So what are some of the lines that you weren't that interested in? Like, I mean, you had them, but then you were like, I'm not really a huge fan. What were some of those?
So initially when I started collecting, there wasn't as many pops that existed. So it was kind of, I'm a completionist in a way. And I didn't really think that it was going to continue the way it was going. It was something I enjoyed, and I was kind of trying to collect most of the lines. But then when it kept going, I kind of had to make that decision to be like, okay, enough's enough. Like, I'm not going to keep going with some of the lines. And so I sold off quite a bit of my anime pops, anime and video games. So I kept my Dragon Ball Z collection and Naruto, and I think that might be it anime wise, but I used to have, pretty much all the My Hero Academia pops, Sword Art Online, Fairy Tail, pretty much anything you can think of. I had all the original anime pops, which went up in value quite a bit. So I was able to find some local collectors from where I live to kind of trade or sell them to, and they collections, and then video games, just a lot of different stuff like Gears of War, Call of Duty, things like that.
Yeah. So it's crazy. Like, I have like one or two pops, so I'm not really like,
that's healthy now. That's healthy.
Yeah, right. Well, it's funny because, those are I only have two with me currently, but throughout my in the last 5 or 6 years, people have given me pops, as gifts. So I've had probably accumulated maybe like almost 15 or 20 of them without even going out and getting them myself. So it's just really crazy to think just how frequent and abundant a Funko Pop figure is just in general. But yeah, can you talk about why you thought, or how you even thought you could hold a record? Did you even know that they had are you the first recipient of the Guinness record for most Funko Pops?
No, I'm not actually. So the interesting thing, going into it, I didn't think about a Guinness World Record at all. And so I think I was around like 3,000 some pops when a friend of mine had mentioned to me like, hey, I wonder if you have the record. I'm like, what do you mean a record? Like, why would there be a record? And so I looked it up, and there was a record, and it was, I can't remember who it was, but it was somebody that had 1,000, like the record was 1,000. I'm like, well, I already have double that. So let me look into how to apply. And so I did, and it's not an easy process. I mean, Guinness is fantastic. Guinness World Records, everybody I collaborated with and worked with prior to the, submitting the record and communicating with them, and even after the fact, working with some of their public relations folks and shooting the video and that, getting in the book and getting the pic, all that stuff, was really easy and smooth, and it was really a joy to work with them. But I looked up how to submit it, and then submitted it, and then there was a lot of back and forth, because you really have to prove that you have the record, and they don't come out and count it. So I had to have an independent specialist essentially come out and do it. And there was a toy store in the Richmond, Virginia area, West End Toys, and they sell things on Amazon and Walmart and things like that. So I had ordered from them before, and I just reached out and said, hey, would you help me out with this? And they did. And so they came out, and we recorded them counting it, and then we submitted that. And then there's a whole bunch of, I had to submit a spreadsheet that proved, and pretty much Guinness counted every single pop. So they had to make sure it was legit. And so then I got the email back that it was accepted and approved. And, from there, it's not a lock that you'll be in the book. They have certain records to go in the book, because there's thousands of records that they have every year. And so for the 2021 book, I had reached out to them specifically to say, is this something you'd like to include in the book? It'd be great if you did. And so then we were able to work from there. So
that's awesome. So yeah, the Guinness just released a video on your collection, I think like a couple of weeks ago, which was it's like crazy. I didn't realize just how many, like what 5,000 pops looks like. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Can you talk about that whole process of them coming and filming, and how long did it take for them to set you up laying down with all the pops around you? Can you talk about that?
Yeah. So they really had some visionary ideas, which was really neat. So they came out, and it was about a 9-hour photo shoot. It was all day, literally. And so the crew, a couple of the members, they came, I think they're based in England. They were out kind of traveling around the country shooting videos for different collections. And so I think they were on their way to Indiana after they came to see me. But it was really neat. They were really nice. It was a crew of 3 folks, and, they had their own equipment, and, we just kind of did some walkthroughs, and, I just kind of did whatever they told me to do, essentially. And so it took all day, it was fun though. It was tiring, but it was fun. But we had the picture of the pops around me, and then some of the table shots where we had all the pops on. I was behind the table, and then in front of the collection, and so it was fun though. We all got into it and had a good time. And then the walkthrough, they just had said, walk around, we'll film you and just talk about whatever you want to talk about. So, that was basically it.
Yeah, it looked like they had. I mean, they're probably pretty comfortable, filming people's collections, so they probably had an idea of what they wanted when they came over. What was the most recent Funko Pop you just bought? The last one.
The last one. So I think the most recent ones that came in just yesterday were the guy from Operation, the board game.
They made a pop of him?
They have a pop. Actually, I don't know if it's okay if I stand up and go get it. I can
Oh, please. Yes, absolutely.
Let me grab it real quick.
Yeah, of course. We'll just stare at this incredible wall.
So, and they're out of box, of course, and which you mentioned 5,000 pops is a lot. It definitely is a lot. It would be even more if they were all in the box.
That's right. Do you keep? I'm assuming you keep the box too, or do you?
I do keep the boxes. I do. There was so when I did look through the comments on some of the videos, because it's kind of fun to peruse that.
Oh yeah.
Probably be doing a video of me going through the comments just randomly to see.
Oh, that'd be amazing. Yeah.
But there was a lot of people were freaking out. They're like, "Where's the boxes? The value?" And so I do keep all the boxes. So they're stored in kind of a separate room in my basement.
Yeah.
Pops that are kind of really valuable. They stay in pop protectors.
So
So here's the Cavity Sam guy.
That's hilarious. I didn't even know they made that.
Yeah,
That's
this
so
is a new
funny.
line that they just came out with called Retro Toys.
Ah,
They, like the other one that I just came in, that's from the same line, Mr. Potato Head.
yeah. Okay.
Nice. So like
Pretty
G.I. Joe, Transformers, Barbie, a lot of Hasbro toys
interesting.
from that line. So those are the
Okay.
most recent that came in.
That's pretty cool. Wow. Okay. So yeah, I guess so you said it in this Guinness video. You said that you're a fan of like Saved by the Bell and Bruce Lee. Are there any figures that you have multiple pops of? Like you've bought two of them because you just liked it so much?
Not of the same mold. So like, let's see, behind me. So, well, actually, behind me is a lot of my movie pops. So these are like all movies behind me. And so I don't know if you can see, it's over here, but I have 4 different Bruce Lee pops, but they're all different molds.
Right.
Colors like that he's got from the different movies. So never really the same identical pop. But if it's a different mold of the pop, and I like the character, I might have multiples.
Gotcha. And is that how do you organize your pops? Is it by like, I guess you would say by movie or by genre or like?
Yes.
Is that
by
how?
Genre? By genre, and then it's even a little bit more detailed so it's by movies and then by genre. So I don't know how much you can see, but the movie, and I can show you, I can move my computer and show you, but so
Sure.
way down here, the first movie shelf is Harry Potter. So pretty much almost the whole shelf is Harry Potter pops.
Got it.
And then it kind of, there's a whole shelf of comedy. So comedy.
I like that.
And then there's kind of like an action shelf, a horror shelf.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. And then it goes into television.
Gotcha. Okay. I was just wondering because, I was like, okay, could he do it by alphabetical? Like it's just all characters that start with A, but then that would make sense because like you want to always have the pops as a group if it's like a set or if they're a cast.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. Is there a character that Funko Pop has not made yet that you are waiting for them to make?
So this would actually, so whenever I talk to my mom, she asked me this question. She's like, have they made a Neil Diamond pop yet? And I'm like, no, Mom, they haven't. There's no Neil. She loves Neil Diamond. And so that would be one that it would be cool if they did have a Neil Diamond, the singer, pop.
That's hilarious. I'm surprised they haven't. I'm surprised they don't.
I am surprised too. I mean, I'm sure it's coming.
Yeah. Because I've been waiting for an invisible Harry Potter, like.
Oh, right. They have him with the invisible cloak.
Right, but they don't have him actually wearing it. Like,
yeah.
Come on. Like either make
or maybe they do, just can't see it.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah, it's just an empty box.
That would be amazing.
But what is one that I was looking forward to? I was interested in having them make more like G.I. Joe pops, and they just started doing that. Started coming out with some new G.I. Joe pops and Transformer pops, and they keep coming out with more He-Man. So I grew up in the 80s, so a lot of kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So nothing I can think of offhand.
Right. Well, it's just like, you think like they've already made a pop of everything, but when you really try to pick something and then you look for it, you're like, oh, they haven't made that yet. It makes you realize that there's still so much more they can make of, like it's
absolutely, it can go on forever. Literally.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just deep dives into stuff in the past and new things that are coming out, and
totally,
it really can.
If they were to make a pop of you, what would be some of the defining features on that pop that you would want on there so that people knew it was you, or that you would know it was you?
So probably me, like holding an empty wallet. I don't know, maybe something like that.
That's pretty good. That's really great.
So yeah, I mean, that's actually something that so it's funny, what the Guinness video on their YouTube channel, my video that they shot, in the comments in the very top, they pinned a comment. Guinness pinned their own comment to the top, and it says, we're starting a petition for Funko to make a pop of Paul. We think he deserves it. Which is kind of cool because I did talk to him, that would be cool. So it is something I am trying to connect with Funko about, because I think it just would be neat to start like a Guinness World Records line.
Yes.
Guinness is on, they're open to it, and it could be a thing. I don't know how many people would care about it but me, but it still would be cool.
You'd be surprised. I'm pretty sure that would get enough, just enough for them to make it, you know?
Right. But I guess, you know, glasses, a beard, you know, jeans and a t-shirt, you know, something pretty basic, you know, maybe,
would you want it to be a bobblehead? Would you want to be a flocked one, or like a glow in the dark? What do you think? Like, would you want your beard to be flocked? I think that'd be really cool.
That would be cool. That's a great idea. That would be really cool. I haven't thought that, but that would be really cool.
Yeah. I literally just thought of that right now. So if they do it,
if
we know where
it has to happen.
Yeah,
that has to be a feature. And I am a fan of the flock pops. I'm not so much a fan of the glow in the dark or, you know, of pops. So I tend to pass on those, but the flocked ones definitely.
Yeah. What's the what is the most valuable pop figure you own? Well, so I guess what is the most I guess expensive one you have, and probably the one that you feel the most sentimentally attached to?
So just in case you were to ask that question, I do have my most valuable pop right here. And so this one, Guinness featured this one too individually. So this is the original She-Ra. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh, I can see it.
From He-Man, Masters of the Universe.
And why is that one so valuable?
I think it's just the appeal of it and the rarity. So this came out, I think, in 2011 or 12. It was one of the number 18 of the I don't know if you can see number 18 of the animation line. And at one point, I think just last week, it was around $800. And it fluctuates, you know, between $600 and $800, and it kind of goes back and forth. But it's in a pop protector, so this is
that's crazy.
So that's the most valuable one, and probably one of my more favorite pieces in the collection. But the most sentimental one is, and I think I can go grab it real quick. It's Valentine's Day Stitch from Lilo and Stitch.
Huh.
It's Stitch holding a heart, and so I had given that to my now wife when I proposed to her. So, you know, she didn't really, and she actually is on one of the Guinness videos, kind of talking about, you know, how much she knew of this or didn't know about this before we got married. But you know, she knew a little bit about the collection and kind of what I had going on. But most of my pops at that time were at my work office. And so now that they're home, you know, they're not allowed upstairs. That's why they're all in the big here, and they don't go. But that's the most sentimental one.
That's a good answer. What pop are you currently hunting for right now?
You know, I've kind of cooled off a little bit. I mean, after we just bought a house and stuff, and so as far as financially, but ones that I want to, sets that I want to complete here eventually are the Muppets. So I do have most of them, but they're kind of pricey and they're hard to find. So there's about 3 or 4 of them that I don't have, that I'd like to find at a good price at some point. And then some of the older Disney pops. Like the Chernabog from Fantasia, the original Mad Hatter, Jiminy Cricket, you know, the original Goofy and Donald Duck, and you know, those all came out way before I started collecting, and they're pretty hard to find.
Interesting. Do you have time to play a game?
Sure.
Like we do a little game? Okay. So the name of this game is called Pop Quiz with Paul Scardino. So it was the reason why I was asking about what features you want to see on your own pop figures, because I made one of you.
I see that. That's really nice.
Yeah. So
thank you for doing that.
You know, his beard isn't flocked, but it is very textured, which I tried to be very accurate to. Obviously, this is a Tony Stark pop that I just kind of finangled a little bit in Photoshop. I couldn't find any pop wearing your type of glasses on that type of head. And so I had to kind of like Photoshop the beard on top of Tony Stark.
That's pretty impressive. That's really nice.
And then that's the shirt you were wearing in the Guinness World Record video. So I was like, okay. I mean, I know he's not wearing jeans, but it's actually really hard to find.
That's pretty darn good. Like, that's amazing. That's really cool.
Oh, thank you.
Is that an X-Men number 4 first appearance of red. Is that what that is?
Oh yeah, it's I think that one was 11, but I think this was, I can't remember which. I think this is like 13 or something like that. It's close.
Cool.
It's very close. But yeah, I was like, I used to make pop versions of myself for fun, and I was like, oh, I should just do one of you. So
Cool. Well, thank you for doing that. That's really
sure.
that's really nice job.
Thanks. Okay, so we're gonna play a game. It's just basically just Funko Pop questions, nothing big. Here, let's go to the next one. So here's a question for you. This is going to test your Funko Pop knowledge. What character was the first Funko Pop ever made?
So I believe it was the Big Boy Pop. All right, there we go. The Wacky Wop.
Yeah. Yes. Well done. Yeah, I didn't even know this answer. So I was like, oh, I wonder if he's going to know.
Yeah, those are cool. The Wacky Wobblers are cool, and I think that's how they started, right? I think Funko's been around for over 20 years, which is interesting. But majority of that time, I think that it was mainly Wacky Wobblers and bobbleheads, and I have some of those. I do have some of those, but not that one.
Right. Well, it's funny because I've seen this logo before, the Funko. I've seen that in like at some point, but I didn't realize that it was the same Funko that is, now making, the vinyl figures. I didn't realize they were the same company.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. And this was only in 98. So, all right. Great job on the first question. Let's go to the next one. All right. How many different individual Funko Pop character figures currently exist?
Ooh, this one I definitely don't know, but I'll try.
So not variations, but different individual characters.
Oh, okay. So it's even harder. Hopefully you'll accept a round number. So let's say 8,500.
Ooh, that's a good guess. That was an excellent guess.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That was an excellent guess. Yeah. So it's crazy that there's already that many. You know what? I'll give this to you. Because that was so close. I'll give that one to you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Great job. That was man. Okay. I was like, maybe these questions are too hard. Maybe I should have made them harder. Okay, let's go to the next one. What is the average age of Funko Pop collectors?
So when I think about that, a collector versus, because I know a majority of us probably are people that buy them one-off here or there. They're in a store and they're like, oh, look, they have a person of this, or like there's a Olaf, and they buy it for their kid or something. But a collector, probably 36, age 36.
Let's find out. 35.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to give you that one too. That's
okay.
That's a really.
How did you come up with that number too?
That's just what Google said. I literally just Googled what is the average age of Funko Pop collectors, and it said 35.
Wow.
So,
it's amazing. I don't know how many people, when they ask me about the collection, like at work or different people, they're like, how many dolls do you have, or how many dolls do you collect? And I just ignore people when they say the word doll. But it's insinuating like it's a child's thing, but it really is.
Correct. Yeah. No, it's. I mean, there is a clear difference, right? When someone says, "Oh, how many toys do you have?" But in reality, it's like I collect action figures or statues, right? Those aren't really necessarily toys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you on that. Okay, next question. How many Funko Pop vinyl figure versions of Deadpool have been made so far?
Oh, I think that answer is 8,000. No,
yeah, no kidding.
So I do have a two of these sections full of Deadpools.
Mm-hmm.
And each of these sections holds about 24 to 26 pops.
Oh, wow.
So let's say 55.
55. Good guess. 71.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
A lot of Deadpool.
There's a lot of Deadpool, but surprisingly, he is not the most made character, and we'll get to that later.
I think I know who that is, but thank you for giving me that one too.
Yeah, of course. Which character has the most versions of Funko Pop vinyl figures?
That one I think is Batman. I would say Batman.
Final answer?
Final answer.
You are correct.
Wow,
204.
204.
I didn't even know that. I thought it was Deadpool also, or I was going to guess Stan Lee.
Yeah, Stan Lee. There's only a handful of him.
Yeah, not too many, surprisingly.
Yeah.
Even the internet.
Yeah, some of those Freddy Funkos where he is a different character, are usually limited pieces, and there's quite a few. And I don't have any of the 1 in 24 ones. So
right, it's like 24 is such a nothing number, like 24. Why even? Why would you do that? Okay.
Yeah.
What is the most pre-ordered Funko Pop of all time?
Well, that's an interesting question. The most pre-ordered. I'm assuming it's probably a recent pop. Let's see.
You're on the right track.
What would be, and possibly what could I say next that would put me even closer on the right track? I'm just kidding. Most pre-ordered. So, and it would have to be a common, I'm assuming. I'm gonna say He-Man, a Masters of the Universe.
Okay. All right. Final answer?
Yes.
Okay. Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda, of course.
Yeah. When I saw that, I was like, duh, that makes total sense.
It makes total sense. It
Yeah.
does. I actually only have one Baby Yoda pop. I didn't get into all the different, he's smiling or he's sad, or, all the different variants. I just main one, and that's it.
I still can't believe they made the one where he's eating like
The
a frog, and then the leg is sticking out, and he's just like looking drunk. I can't believe they made that one. That one I will never buy. Okay.
Yeah, that one was not appealing.
All right, next one. What is the best-selling Funko Pop of all time?
So what's going to be the best-selling Funko Pop of all time would be if they made one of me, like we talked about earlier. But so that's
right.
So now I'm just stalling. So what is the best-selling Funko Pop of all time?
You would think it's Baby Yoda, but it's not. It was just the most pre-ordered.
Right.
Which apparently, which is different. I realized that when I was making this.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Let's stick with the same type of pop. Let's say Baby Groot.
Good answer. Final answer?
See, now I want to change it based on your response, but I'll be fair and not change it. We'll say the answer.
All right. It's the dancing Baby Groot.
The dancing Baby Groot.
I will give you that one. That was an excellent.
Okay.
That is an excellent. I was like, he's not going to get this. And then, I will give you that one. That was an excellent guess.
Cool.
Man, you were doing
very appealing to a lot of different people.
Yeah. Well, when I was looking this up, I was like, do I have this pop? And the answer is yes. And I don't collect Funko Pops. So if I have it,
right,
then, a lot of people must have it too. So, and it's, it makes sense because you could just put that by your windowsill and it could be, it's your plant, right?
Right. Yeah, it's probably in many offices across the country.
Absolutely. And it's a bobblehead, so you can't really go wrong with that. All right, let's see if that was the last question. Oh, that was. You did.
Okay.
Yeah, you did great.
That was good. That was really fun. I really appreciate you putting that together. That was really neat.
Do you want to show me a little bit of your room or your collection or whatever's behind you?
Yeah, sure. Let me see. So I'm on my laptop, so I'll just kind of.
Yeah. You can just
see if I can maneuver
whatever you want to do.
Okay. Can you still see?
Yeah. Thank you so much for being here. I really enjoyed it. And I'll talk to you soon.
Cool. Thank you, Mark.
Thanks, Paul. Take it easy.
Yep. You too.
All right.